versatile and extreme or ergonomic handle designs on knives. These terms are kind of loosely thrown around, but from my definition of these, I see a versatile design as what you're seeing on these three folding knives on your left. Very, very simple. Not a whole lot going on here. This one's almost just a rectangle. I mean, there's a little bit of an indentation right here. Then there's something going on up here, a little ramp. But generally speaking, it's not too crazy. It's very, very simple, very plain Jane. You can hold this in a lot of different positions and it won't be terribly uncomfortable no matter what you do. Same with this one right here, the CRKT Otanashi no Ken. Very, very simple, very rectangular. I mean, yeah, we got a choil right here for our index finger, and so we can disengage that locking mechanism, but generally very simple, almost symmetrical looking. It can be held in a lot of different positions and not be terribly uncomfortable for all hand sizes, all shapes. No, it's not going to melt in our hand or anything, but it won't be uncomfortable in any particular position either. An extreme design is more what you're seeing on these three knives over here, especially this one, the CRKT Foresight. This is what I consider to be the definition of an extreme or a very ergonomic design. Very pronounced choils on here. It's meant to be held in a very particular position. It looks like there's a spot for our thumb right there and all four of our fingers down here. Extremely comfortable, extremely melt in your hand, really tight grip. It's going to be almost impossible to knock out of your hand, but as soon as you try to hold it in a different position, let's say we were cutting rope, we were doing a pull cut or something, this happened to be the only knife on you, not exactly comfortable. Those choils are now biting into the palm of my hand. Or maybe if your hand is larger than my hand, let's say you got like an XL size, they won't fit so nice and snugly into these choils anymore. Now all of a sudden, if your fingers are larger in comparison to my fingers, they probably will be a little bit too snug inside of these. Maybe they'll start riding up against these choils. Or if your hand's smaller than my hand, now you're just going to have the opposite problem. They don't fit nicely within the choils. Now all of a sudden they're going to be starting to double up. And again, you're going to be riding up against those choils rather than inside the indentations where they're intended to go. Spartan, very comfortable for my hand right here. It's a very, very pronounced shape. Very extreme. Extremely comfortable for my hand, for many of our hands, but not everybody's hands. Again, if your hand was very large, maybe it would start bumping up against these really pronounced guards we have right here. My hand's uncomfortable in this position. The guard right here rides up against the fat of my hand right there, literally biting into it, as you can see. Not very comfortable. I can't really scooch down here comfortably either because this whole situation with the handle down there is in between my fingers like that. It's meant for a very select amount of grips, but for those grips, it's extremely comfortable and it really locks your hand in. This one I wouldn't call too much of an extreme design. It's kind of a middle ground, the Cold Steel Voyager XL, the modern design. But it's still got some pretty pronounced choils going on right here. You can hold it in a variety of different positions, locks my hand nicely, and it's not too over the top where there's really deep choils or really deep pronounced cutouts or anything. Nice middle ground. It's comfortable enough, but not just like a rectangle either. I just wanted to directly compare it to the old model Voyager XL. You can see quite a difference in the handle shapes right there. I think it's a good comparison between a versatile handle and a more extreme handle. Yeah, we do have some curvature up here in the more versatile handle, but it's certainly a lot less pronounced. It's more gradual, it's a little bit more subtle. It'll feel less uncomfortable overall, but it also won't be extremely comfortable, or it won't really lock your hand in that well either. It's just kind of a jack of all trades. All hand shapes and sizes will fit it more or less, but you can't really lock your hand in there either. That's my definition of a versatile handle design. Again, more extreme, or what some people would call ergonomic designs, are meant to lock your hand in because they have very pronounced choils, very pronounced cutouts, very extreme, as I put it. What do you think? Do you like knives that have more extreme designs, very distinct choils and cutouts that are meant to fit a very specific hand grip? Or do you prefer stuff that's more versatile, more simple, more gradual? where you won't experience any discomfort despite not really being able to lock your hand in either. Personally, I like them both, just depending on the knife, depending on the situation, depending on what day of the week it is, depending on what I'm trying to do with that knife. I honestly don't dislike either one. However, what I will say, the versatile handle designs will float more people's boats because they are more versatile. That just makes sense. Ergonomic knives, I mean, when they're done right, man, they feel good. You can really just lock your hand in there, and it can feel so confident with that grip. It's just not going to get knocked out of my hand, but it's not going to be the same for everyone. Some people may pick this knife up and it'll just feel uncomfortable, just really pointy and jagged because their hand size is not intended for this handle shape. The extreme designs, I say, are awesome when they work for your hand. When they do not, they suck. But versatile knives, they're not really extremely comfortable or extremely uncomfortable either way. They're just kind of okay. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, hit that little bell notification if you do not want to miss weekly knife and gun videos. Mannix out.